Miami goes up to Charlottesville to play Virginia this weekend. The Tony Elliott offense is pedantic, very plodding, has really taken away the explosion of Brennan Armstrong.
Yeah.
He's talented, he's athletic, like we'll see that, he'll move around and everything. But yeah, this is a pillow fight. Like, these are two of the worst teams in the conference matching up. And, it makes sense that it's a Bally Sports 12:30 game this week. So, that's the third or fourth in a row for Miami. A departure from that next week, I don't know if I was going to say a blessed departure, but I don't know how excited I am about it. But Miami and Florida State is the ABC national game next weekend. So, we'll see about that. And the thing to remember is football games are television shows to networks. They don't care about the history and it is a television show. And for that reason, Miami, Florida State got the primetime game. And, some of the SEC games have already been earmarked elsewhere. SEC and Big Ten, they're, Big Ten trying to do the noon thing for their big games, and SEC at 3:30. And then, you can kind of rotate through, all the conferences for the night game, even, including those conferences. But, if they haven't already earmarked those. So, yeah, I mean, Miami, Florida State, again, not that either team has been very good recently. And then I will say, Florida State has been better this year, which vexes my spirit. But, you're going to find people across the country, oh, Miami, Florida, that's usually a good game. Or, oh, I've heard of that, or like da-da-da. And they're going to turn. It's not going to do the biggest rating numbers ever, but it's a television show. And you have a name brand matchup. Miami and Florida State. Oh, bang. Okay, well, I'm flipping around. Oh, yeah. Boom. Now, they might not stay watching because it's going to be bad. But, again, for scheduling and for, placement purposes, college football games, or all games, are television shows. So remember that. And that's the reason why Miami and Florida State, which we're going to talk about for 2 hours next week or whatever. But, yeah, so it is at that time. But yeah, to Charles Johnson's point, Virginia's not looked good, and neither have we. I mean, I would put, both teams near each other in the power rankings of the ACC. I mean, like what, 11, 12, 12, 13? I mean, not good. I mean, out of the 14 teams in the league, they're, us and them are pretty bad. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a game of two bad teams, and likely a backup quarterback in Jake Garcia, because I get Mario Cristobal, his reticence to come out and give an update. But unless Tyler Van Dyke is Wolverine and can like self-regenerate and heal at that kind of rapid rate, not a medical professional, just a guy who's watched a lot of sports and seen a lot of dudes get injured, I don't see any possible way that he plays on Saturday. After the way that he laid on that field, after the way he was coming off, had his arm supported, so because he couldn't let his arm hang because that injury on the shoulder, just letting it hang again, even as you're walking, you're still accelerating towards the ground, 9.81 meters per second squared. So that would have, basically been dragging his arm down. So he has, bent up and then held up by a Miami staffer. And then, the team doctor, orthopedic surgeon, Lee Kaplan, is walking off with him and everything. I just don't see any way that Tyler Van Dyke plays. And if he does, then he is one of the fastest healing humans ever in the history of humanity. But yeah, it's going to be the Jake Garcia show. You're probably going to get some more Jakari Brown. And it is Jakari, even though it's spelled with a U. I don't know. Hey, but, he's up against his redshirt limit. And I would really like to not burn his red shirt, but I don't see any way that we don't at this point. So yeah, I mean, you're going to get Jake Garcia as QB1. You're going to get the UPS Express package. What can Brown do for you? For Jakari coming in there to, play kind of discount Cam Newton and run the single wing and inverted veer and quarterback power and everything. I'll be interested to see what happens in the passing game, because Colby Young, you're almost getting to Randy ratio target. Well, not really in terms of targets. He had 9 targets on Saturday. And then Frank Ladson had 7. Jacoby George had 6. And then just a kind of mismatch to get to the rest of them. So, I mean, he had more than anybody, but like not super duper 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 more. But I'm interested to see what can happen in the pass game, because I know that Virginia is going to probably bracket him and double him and things like that. So, just to see if there's any kind of step forward. To James Hennessy's point, King healed fast last year was bad because De'Aaron King wasn't fully healed even, and he even said that. He's like, I'm out there at 85% or whatever. And then, his season was over. So, he healed. It was remarkable that he even got back on the field to start last season. But that was still months, 7 days from whatever injury was sustained that they're not not detailing to us, but the injury that Tyler sustained that we all saw.
Cam, look at this regression. You bring up Brennan Armstrong.
Oh boy,
this is remarkable.
I don't know the exact numbers I'm going to see him, but it's pretty bad.
So, so he has thrown almost exactly half as many passes this season as last season, even though we're 7 games into an 11-game season. So he played only 11 of 12. So his numbers could have really been crazy last year. If he threw for 4,500 yards in 11 games, if they're going to a bowl game and 13 games, he's tacking on another 600. He led the nation in yardage per game last year. Through 31 TDs, he's got 6 in half as many pass attempts.
Less than half as many, and almost the same number of interceptions. Just again, look at the last, 2021, 2022. Just look at the regression, look at the change. And and then you see, what's his name? Schrader up at Syracuse doing numbers. Why? Robert and the coordinator who was at Virginia, is where? Syracuse. Like, it's not hard to see. And then also, I am still firmly of the belief that Clemson needs to change and go to the club level for Kate Klubnik and get rid of DJ, because we've seen that movie. He's not that guy. And I get Dabo supporting it. Oh, he's our quarterback. Wrong. Kate Klubnik is the dude for you. But you have to see DJ's progression a little bit as getting rid of Tony Elliott as offensive coordinator, because you see how he's hamstrung Armstrong in the numbers that were just on the screen, and you see how DJ's taking a step. He's not great, and they ask him to do certain things, and he does those certain things really well. But you see a clear step when that dude is gone. You know what I mean? So, like, you're a net negative where you go to, and a net positive addition by subtraction where you came from by not being there. Broski, hello, like, come on.
Yes, Charles. We are aware Virginia's best offensive lineman, their center. He's a Remington finalist last year. Uluwatimi is his last name, went to Michigan. But also Brendan Armstrong's 3 top receiving threats all came back. Really good players, Dontavian Wicks, Keaton Thompson. Now, Billy Kemp must be injured. Their tight end, because he's only caught 5 balls this year. But
Billy Kemp is a wide receiver. He's like a 5.
Oh, Billy Kemp. Yes, I'm thinking of anyway, I don't know who I'm thinking of as the time. Anyway.
Number 4.
Yes.
And they had that like 7 foot tall left tackle who's somewhere else also. Virginia did. Like 6'10", 6'11", or what? 6'10", I think. They had an offensive lineman, another one who also left. So, one would think maybe, possibly, but a full game of Jake Garcia what does that mean for the offense? Now you have 2 weeks, 2 full game tapes of Colby Young. Is he still able to produce at that level? You know what I mean? Maybe. So I think that the defense can be okay, but if you keep giving the opposing team 25, 26, 40 yards to score, that's not sustainable for success. I mean, even in the short term, let alone, a medium or long term. So, we'll see. I mean, I'm interested to see this game. I mean, I'm going to watch it, we're going to talk about it and everything, but, if Miami finds a way to lose this game, I think that regardless of it being year 0 and building and like, I could see the wheels coming off of this season if they lose. Or somebody yells and screams and then they kind of, puke and rally and get back to the party. I don't know. But yeah, it's just I said it last week. If you're counting to 6, you have to have the Duke game. Okay, you lose that one. If you're counting to 6 now with the 5 that we have left, and the way that we're looking, and the injury issues at multiple positions and things like that, I don't realistically see a way that you get from where we are to bowl eligible, and it includes a loss to Virginia. I just don't. But it's always a slobber knocker against Virginia. It's always a tight game, and we found ways when we were playing well, 8-9 wins, and we still find ways to lose to Virginia, especially in Charlottesville. So I mean, I'm going to pick Miami to win, but I'm not confident.
And as we close, just to add to the bad Miami information from a different angle, the betting angle, Miami is actually, I think I can verify this. I know that they're 0-6 against, so throw out Bethune-Cookman because that wasn't listed on all the sports books because Miami was too substantial of a favorite, so it did not have a line everywhere. So the other 6 games, Miami has not covered the spread this year.
That is correct, sir. And I'm looking at it, and I will give you another spread stat. Where is it? Miami is dead last in terms of points scored versus the spread. Mm-hmm. So cover points per game. Sorry, in per game. Negative 11.7 points away from covering each game on average. So that is 131 out of 131. And 129th out of 131 in terms of performance against the spread at 14.3%, which is 1 out of 7.
If you just look at the Middle Tennessee and Duke games, it doesn't happen a lot that a 24-point favorite loses by 14, that a 10-point favorite loses by 24. Yeah.
Yep.